Hey guys, welcome back to Calico's Garage, and this is episode number 8. I've made some progress off camera. I was able to get the A-arms and the spindles and the rack and pinion installed. The A-arms were a bit of a struggle, and I didn't film any of that because it took probably about 2 hours to do, and there was a lot of hammering and swearing and probably not really camera worthy content. So I got it done though. And so at this point, what we need to do is drill out the spindles. These holes need to be 5/8 in order for the bump steer kit on the rack to connect into it. So I've got 5/8 carbide drill bit. The videos that I've seen really recommend using a drill press, which I don't have, and an end mill, which I don't have. There were some people that said that they were able to get it done with just a regular drill, but you have to do it on a really slow speed because the cast metal will crack if you do it too fast. So wish me luck that everything goes well and I'm able to get these holes drilled out. So let's do it. There we go. That wasn't too horrible. Now let's make sure the bolt fits. A little tight. I think I will drill it out a little bit more. A little more.
"12 seconds later."
go. Like a glove. All right, one side down. Let's go do the other side. Okay, we got the second side done. And bolt goes in nice and easy. So now we can get the rack and bump steer kit connected and move on to installing the shocks or struts. Shocks, struts, what's really the difference? Okay, so the next part that we're going to be putting on, got some Detroit axle wheel hubs, and we're just going to go ahead and slide those right onto the hub on the spindle. Should go on pretty easy. Let's find out. Make sure that is good and greased up. That'll make putting the hub on a lot easier. We've got the motivator in case we need it. Easy peasy. Yeah, that was, I saw some horror stories on YouTube of people putting those on and having to beat them into submission, but yeah, as you saw, that just slid right on. Let's go do the other side. There we go. 2 for 2. So well, that's probably the easiest install I've done on anything on this car so far. All right, next step is to put the caster camber plates on, which are going to go up here. And then we can install the new struts. Hey guys, welcome back. It is the next day, and we are going to go ahead and try to get the struts installed. And looking at them, these are the front and these are the rear, but I'm not going to use those because the Caltrax kit that I got over there came with its own set of rear shocks that are designed specifically for that kit. So I'm going to use those, and I'll just keep these around for something, who knows. But the front struts are coilovers, and they're hopefully going to work, but the one thing I noticed is at the top, the caster camber plate has a different bolt pattern than what I had on the Falcon. So the original ones are here. Obviously that's not gonna fit that way, and it has to go this way so that it adjusts. These lines here have to face basically perpendicular to the front of the car, so you need to face this way. So I had to make a template, which I did over here. Did a little measuring and cutting and made this template to lay on top there that had the 3 drill holes. This one actually lines up, which is cool. So that kind of gives me a point of reference. And then I just basically had to drill these 2 holes here, which I've done. And you can see if I take this plate, give me 1 second. So if I take the plate and stick it underneath, lines up perfectly. So I just need to do the same thing on that side. And I'll take you along for the ride. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so both sides are now drilled out and ready to mount. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plates back on the top of the struts and get them jammed in there and see how they fit. go. That's spicy. But it's done. Okay. Got one side totally done. You got the spindle, the hub, bump steer, and the shocks. One side done. Now just go do the other side. Well, we've hit another snag. I kind of notice it on the driver's side with the strut. It is hitting right here on that side. It's just barely touching, but on this side, the passenger side, I can't even get the strut in there because the spring is hitting against that. So what I guess I will do is trim a little section of that out and kind of bump it out so that it's not in the way. It's not a big deal, just a little extra work. That's really the only way that I can see to get it to fit in there. So let me go ahead and do some trimming. I'll probably trim both sides because the other side is touching a little. I didn't know if that was going to be a big deal or not, but it's probably best if it isn't touching. So I will trim it and get back to you. Okay, quick easy modification. Took maybe 10 minutes at the most. Just cut a little section out right there. And on this side, and now as you can see, the strut fits in there perfectly. And something that I noticed, which I may end up doing, is the parts that I cut out, like this, if you flip them around, they kind of fit in like that. And then I can just make like a little side plate. That way it's still enclosed, but it will clear the strut. So that's an idea. But now that I've got the clearance, let's go ahead and get this other strut installed. Okay. 2 for 2. Both the, well, pretty much the entire front suspension is done. The only thing left, I have to tighten up the bump steer, and I wanted to make sure that everything was level once I put the struts in, which they look pretty level to me. So I'm going to go ahead and cinch those down. Then the only other thing really to do up here in the front would be the brakes. So I'm just going to move on to something else. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, so the next piece of the puzzle that we're going to put together is going to be the steering. And I've got a kit here. I believe it was from LMR Performance. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a universal kit. It's made for a Mustang, but it does require some modification in order to fit into the Falcon. There's a couple videos that I've seen, one from Team D Performance and another from, I think, 63 Falcon Turbo. They basically show exactly the steps that you need to take in order to modify this kit to fit into the Falcon. It requires, this is kind of the plate that goes into the firewall. I think it goes like that, but the plate itself is for a Mustang, so it won't fit. So I'm going to have to get a sheet of metal and trace out the shape for that here into the metal, mark the hole for the center, and I'm probably going to use riv nuts to attach it. That way I can always take it out if I need to. Makes it kind of quick and easy for maintenance or whatever. And then I also have the parts here for the steering linkage. So once I get the steering wheel in, I can connect it directly to the rack, and then I have steering, which is an amazing thing. So I'm going to have to find some metal for this. I don't know if Lowe's has something that thick or not. It's like 2, maybe 3 mil. So I'll have to do that. So unfortunately, it's not something I can do today. So I will catch back up with you once I've got all the parts and I'm able to do this. Hey guys, okay, it's been a couple days and I got the plates that I needed. Well, I just need one really to make this for the steering shaft to go through for over there. But as I was working out here, I noticed that the floor pans are starting to get a little rusty in some spots here and here. So I sanded them, got rid of that, and I've decided that I guess the pressing issue that I need to do is to coat them. So I have some self-etching Rust-Oleum primer that I'm going to put on there. I'm going to clean everything with some acetone, get it nice and oil-free, and then I'm going to go ahead and coat everything with the primer, and I'm probably going to call it after that because it's obviously going to need some time to dry, and I don't really want to be doing a bunch of other work here because stuff falls from the ceiling and will get all over into the paint, and I don't really want that. So probably going to go ahead and get this painted. Let me go ahead and get everything cleaned off with the acetone, and I will start painting. All right, there we go. The floor pans are protected. And it actually looks a whole lot better now that everything is like kind of one universal color. Eventually, I'm going to be painting everything black. I'm probably going to use either Pour 15 or something similar. It's kind of like a real thick paint. That way it will protect against any type of impacts or anything like that. So, all right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, give it a like. If you really liked what you saw, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications for the next time I release the next video. I'm Chris. This is the Falcon Project on Calico's Garage. Thanks for watching. See you next time.